My property back. I have no interest in what you have to say, but I want my property back.
I'm gonna give it right back to you, okay?
Right now.
We're investigating the incident. I don't know if you live here.
What incident?
I don't know if you live here.
What incident?
Okay.
Is having a Mercedes circle me illegal?
Well, we don't know what's going on. We don't know.
You don't have to. You don't have to have your nose in everybody's business like you think you do. You're just a cop. There's no crime being committed. I'd like my shit back, please. Now.
I guess we're gonna pull up right now and then.
No, you're not. No trespassing.
Actually,
This is my sister's property. This is my sister's property. No, this is my sister's property. No trespassing.
Okay, so it's your sister's property, not your property.
No, and no trespassing. Absolutely no trespassing. You're seizing my knife by taking it with you.
I'm not. I'm moving my vehicle, right, sir?
I need my knife back. Now.
Can y'all make it by my Tahoe? Or are you gonna move it?
You're not pulling up here. No trespassing. I'd say it in Spanish, but I don't know Spanish.
Is that a racist comment, sir?
Hey, I spoke to my supervisor and he said to put you in handcuffs.
Is that what he said?
That's what you got to do.
Right, sir.
Okay,
Turn
so an
around.
illegal detention? You're detaining me?
Yes, sir.
For what? What crime have I committed?
This guy stood up to these badge-wearing tyrants like a true leader, holding his ground and refusing to be intimidated. Looking at this situation, it seems he has solid evidence to file a lawsuit. In fact, Batosari has won multiple cases in Texas over far less serious civil rights violations than this. And the irony is, even those who support the Blue Lives Matter movement might back this lawsuit, because beyond just an abuse of power, these officers also blatantly violated private property rights. If this isn't a clear case for legal action, then what is? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos, and feel free to leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Today, we're diving into a situation that has sparked quite a bit of discussion at tense exchange between a woman and the Taos deputy sheriff. It all began when the deputy pulled her over, but things escalated quickly. In the video, the woman claims she is being unlawfully detained, while the deputy explains that she was stopped for reckless driving, specifically for taking her hands off the wheel. The woman immediately denies this, arguing that the deputy could not have seen her hands because he was behind her. Frustrated, she insists that she is a veteran and was simply trying to go for a walk. The situation intensifies as both sides exchange heated words, and the woman demands to speak with the deputy's superior. Eventually, the deputy's sergeant arrives to assess the situation. After hearing both sides, the sergeant advises the woman to keep her hands on the wheel while driving, before allowing her to leave without any penalties. This encounter raises questions about police authority and how citizens should respond in such situations. What do you think? Did the deputy have a valid reason for the stop, or was the woman treated unfairly? Watch the full video and share your opinion in the comments below.
Don't bother me! You're bothering me. How much more can I pull over for? Yeah. How much more do you need? I'm just trying to go for a walk. I'm not real happy about all the construction, and then this guy pulls me over.
Stay in the car. Stay in the car.
No, I don't have to stay in the car. I don't have to stay in the car.
What's your problem?
You're
driving by, you're over here giving gang signs, flipping me off.
gang signs? You don't even, dude, your Taos
What's going on?
education has failed you.
So what's going on?
Your high school education in Taos has failed
Well, I
you.
need your driver's license.
No,
now,
you don't. I don't have to
registration,
give you
insurance.
nothing.
I do.
I didn't break the law. I didn't do nothing. I'm in my car
You're taking
constraining
your hands
myself.
off the wheel. That's careless driving.
No, dude.
Yeah,
You're
dude.
making stuff up.
Ma'am.
No.
License,
Go away.
registration,
Call your
insurance.
supervisor.
License,
Call
registration,
your
insurance.
supervisor.
He pulled the woman over and immediately accused her of reckless driving, specifically taking her hands off the wheel. This raises some important questions. Since he was behind her vehicle, could he actually see whether she had taken her hands off the wheel? If there was no dashcam footage, this accusation could be seen as subjective rather than factual. Instead of calmly explaining the reason for the stop, he set up an immediate confrontation, which could make the citizen feel targeted rather than protected. This raises the possibility that the officer was looking for a reason to justify the stop, rather than genuinely being concerned about traffic safety.
You could not see in my vehicle. You were behind me. Go away.
And what were you doing?
I'm trying to go for a walk.
One hand was off
because
the wheel.
bureaucrats are annoying.
Oh.
Yes,
Well,
go away.
You're the one that's causing
Go
all this
away.
attention.
I'm
okay?
trying to go for a walk and I'm being harassed by a little cousin. So go away.
A little cousin.
Yeah, go away.
Okay, whatever.
Go away.
Ma'am, I need your license.
You don't get my license. I didn't do anything wrong. You couldn't see inside my car. You're behind me. You're making things up.
No, ma'am.
I don't appreciate you. I'm a female veteran. I just try to take care of my mother and go out for a walk a couple times a week. And then you're bothering me.
And I'm telling
Go
you,
away.
the reason.
Right from the start, the officer insists that the woman took her hands off the wheel. But hold on, he's behind her car, so how could he even see that? Sounds a bit questionable, doesn't it? If there's no dashcam footage, this is basically just an accusation with no proof. The woman isn't having it either. She fires back, "I had one hand on the wheel. Is that reckless driving?" Clearly, she's not accepting this reason. And what's interesting here is that instead of explaining things properly, the officer just keeps demanding her ID. So the real question is this officer overstepping his authority, or was this actually a traffic violation?
For the stop. Ma'am, if you leave, I will have more deputies on your ass.
Get the fuck out of my car, bitch. You can't get into my fucking car. Get out of my fucking car. You are not allowed to open my car, dude. You open my car? You open my car?
It's going slower than the speed limit.
Are you okay?
Going slower than the speed limit's not against the law.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Speeding traffic.
No, it's not.
Sir.
I wasn't impeding
License and
traffic.
registration.
Can I get a supervisor out here?
For what?
This is a retaliatory traffic
So,
stop.
hold on. I'm just making.
Hello everyone, welcome to Street Cops. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss any exciting videos coming up. And if you've already subscribed, leave a comment below to let me know you're here. Like and share this video to spread it to more people. Let's build an amazing community together. Thank you so much, and now, let's get started with the video. While driving through Kenosha, Wisconsin, the driver noticed Deputy Manuel Manduo from the Kenosha County Sheriff's Office passing by in the opposite direction. Although the dashcam didn't capture the moment, the driver reportedly flipped off the deputy as they passed each other. Deputy Manduo quickly made a U-turn and followed the driver for nearly 2 minutes before pulling them over. What happened next? Let's find out.
Okay. So you flicked me off because you wanted to?
Yeah,
That was a good idea?
yeah.
Why? Why is that?
It's my constitutional right to do that.
In the United States, flipping off a police officer is considered a form of protected speech under the First Amendment of the Constitution. This protection extends beyond just words to include expressive gestures, even if they are negative, offensive, or critical of law enforcement. However, interfering with a citizen's freedom without legitimate cause is another matter. That's why Deputy Manduo justified the traffic stop by claiming that FCFDW was obstructing traffic by driving below the speed limit. But was that the real reason? Let's find out.
You have a license and transfer?
Is that all you're pulling me over for?
No. Do you know the speed limit back there?
No.
Okay, so that's the reason the traffic stop. Speed limit's 45 and you're doing about 35 and a 45. So you're going slower than speed limit. So license, registration, please.
It's going slower than the speed limit.
Are you okay?
Going slower than the speed limit's not against the law.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Speeding traffic.
No, it's not.
Sir.
I wasn't impeding
License and
traffic.
registration.
Wisconsin Law 346.5 outlines the regulations for minimum speed limits, stating that no one may drive at a speed so slow that it obstructs the normal and reasonable movement of traffic, unless it is necessary for safety reasons or to comply with the law. This means that if a driver is traveling below the speed limit without a valid reason, they could be considered obstructing traffic. However, the line between a genuine violation and the arbitrary enforcement of the law can sometimes be unclear.
Okay, can I get a supervisor out here?
What?
This is a retaliatory traffic
So,
stop.
hold on. I'm just making sure you're okay. You flicked me off. Okay?
Fortunately, the law also specifies certain situations that require a reduction in speed, including when approaching and crossing an intersection. Upon reviewing the dashcam footage before the traffic stop, it becomes clear that FTW only slowed down to 35 miles per hour at that specific point. By now, anyone watching the footage can see the true nature of this traffic stop and understand why the young Deputy Mando was flipped off in the first place. Moreover, since the entire interaction was captured on dashcam, the pressure of being under scrutiny led Deputy Mando to back away from his initial decision. It seems evident that this wasn't just a routine traffic stop, it was a retaliatory act.
First Amendment right to do that. I just let you know you are being recorded.
That's fine. So are you. My camera's going as well, okay, sir?
I'm just door dashing, you're literally stopping me while I'm working right now.
So listen. Just relax, take a breather, okay? I'm just making sure you're okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. Well, obviously you flicked me off, so I just want to make sure you're good.
I'm great.
Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's any reason why you flicked me off. That's all. Did you crash your right? That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Look, you're free to go. Have a better rest of your day. Okay.
Great.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Have a better rest of your day.
Welcome to Street Cops, where the truth is analyzed with clarity. Here, we break down who, what, and right from wrong in police interactions. In this episode, we take a closer look at an arrest involving harassment and disorderly conduct, a dramatic situation with important legal perspectives to consider. This episode is brought to you by Blue Wall. Response officers were quickly dispatched to assess the situation. Deputy Hamilton was the first to arrive at the scene. Upon arrival, he spotted a man named Daryl Baker walking near the intersection of Walnut Circle and Cottonwood Road. Without hesitation, Deputy Hamilton exited his patrol vehicle and approached Baker to investigate further. The entire interaction between Baker and Deputy Hamilton was captured on the officer's body-worn camera, providing a clear record of the events that unfolded. What followed was a series of noteworthy moments that raised important questions about individual rights, police authority, and law enforcement practices in situations like this.
May I help you?
What you mean, how may you help me?
Because I want to see if you lost anything.
What?
I want to see if you lost anything. You okay?
What do you want to see that for?
Because I had got a couple calls says you was wandering around here.
And I can't wander?
Yes, you can.
It's a crime for wandering?
I never said it. You're saying it's a crime for wandering.
So what's the problem?
Well, people are concerned that you here.
What people is concerned? What that got to do with me? It's a problem?
Yes, it might be a problem. People are concerned about you. They want to know.
I don't give a about these people.
Okay, but they want to know why you're in the neighborhood.
I don't give a why. They don't need to know why I'm in the neighborhood. I'm in the neighborhood because I feel like I'm being in the neighborhood.
So you just feel like being in the neighborhood?
I just feel like being in the neighborhood.
So you just feel like, so you just wandering?
I just feel like walking through the neighborhood. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Like, okay,
I
just
can't walk through black. You black like me.
I know, I'm going to walk with you.
So
we gonna walk. We walking together, right?
I can't walk. What you mean?
I didn't say you can't walk.
Why you harassing me, bro?
How I'm harassing you?
Because you walk. I don't even know you, first and foremost. And you just hopped out of your car asking me why am I walking through. I'm on camera, bro. The whole time I've been out here, I'm on camera.
You on camera too?
Walking through the fucking neighborhood. So what's the problem? You
I'm walking with you.
You don't gotta walk with me.
Yes, I do.
Why?
I walk. Why? You said we just walking, right?
I'm just walking.
And I'm walking too.
Why I can't walk by myself? What's the problem?
Can I ask you what's the area?
Because I feel like it.
And I feel like walking with you.
You can't. So
How can I walk with you?
Back in your truck, bro.
No,
you black, bro. You know what's going on. These on some bullshit from people. Give a on what I look like a robber because I'm black. I like a robber because I'm black. Now I'm being harassed.
Okay, because
you f***ing up my day. Your supervisor told you gotta walk. That's why you doing what you doing. And you're not even doing it because that's what you want to do. Because you're supervisor. And I'm in a rich neighborhood.
Because my supervisor know people call about you.
I'm rich.
And that's fine.
I live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So why are you following me?
You live in the neighborhood. What's your name then?
It doesn't matter. I don't have to tell you my name.
Okay, now, come on. We can stand here and just look at each other.
What you mean? I don't want you walking with me. You harassing me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
I don't want you walking with me.
And these people don't want you.
I didn't do nothing wrong. What the f is the problem?
Because I'm trying to figure out why are you for one thing? Why are
Because
you so
I
aggressive?
want to.
Okay, now I can walk.
You don't have to walk with me though. You don't gotta walk with me. I want to walk in the neighborhood.
You said I don't have to, but I can.
Because I feel like
and I feel like walking with you. Because you want to curse, I can curse
That's
too.
harassing.
Nah, it's harassing with you. I tell this guy just walk with
what
harassing.
you do, bro.
I am doing what I'm doing.
Thank you.
I'm doing what I'm doing,
bro. You ain't gotta follow me. Why is you following me though?
I'm doing what I'm doing. You just said I don't have to, but I can. That's two different things like you.
Serious?
You don't have to, but you can, right?
I don't listen, I'm committing a crime.
And they say you commit a crime. You're saying
why
that.
are you following me?
What you mean why I follow you?
Why are you following me?
I said I could walk with you. I could walk. I can walk too.
You're telling you can't walk with me.
Okay, fine. I just walk beside you. I just won't be with you, huh?
Yo, you harassing me, bro.
Now I'm harassing you.
Getting harassed by a black cop in a white neighborhood.
I'm trying to figure out why are you here?
Because I fucking want to be here.
And I can walk with you because I want to be here. Yeah, I can. I can. Yes, I can.
Bitch, no the f you can't. No the f you can't walk with me because you fucking want to walk with me. I know my fucking rights. Call your fucking supervisor,
okay, I will call
pussy.
him. I'll call him. No.
What you talking about?
Simply following someone in a public place does not automatically constitute unlawful harassment under Illinois law or federal law. While Illinois law defines the term harassment in certain contexts, these definitions typically require the behavior to be without legitimate purpose and to cause emotional distress to another person. For example, Section 26.5 to 0.1 of the Illinois Criminal Code, which pertains to harassing communication, defines harassment as knowingly engaging in conduct that is not necessary to accomplish a reasonable purpose under the circumstances, which would cause emotional distress to a reasonable person and does cause emotional distress to another. In other words, harassment generally involves unreasonable, purposeless behavior that is clearly intended to annoy, disturb, or distress another individual.
You gonna buy me a house, you gonna buy my daughter
you
house.
want to speak to my supervisor?
You fucking harassing me.
You say you want to speak to my supervisor?
Harassing me.
My supervisor's on his way
Since
too.
you fucking harassing me, pussy. I've been fucking cameraed up since I came in this fucking neighborhood.
This is?
Your camera. Get off my dick.
Okay.
Get off my dick, man.
Okay.
What the f you following me for? Because I'm in this neighborhood.
Disturbing others and following someone in a public space, especially when done by law enforcement for investigative purposes, does not necessarily constitute unlawful harassment, at least in a criminal context. Police officers are generally permitted to observe or monitor individuals in public as part of their duties, as long as it serves a legitimate investigative purpose. In the United States v. Knott's 1983 case, the Supreme Court ruled that an individual traveling on public roads does not have a reasonable expectation of privacy regarding their movements. This decision established the principle that visual or physical surveillance by law enforcement or the public does not violate the Fourth Amendment or any other federal law. Similarly, in California v. Ciruolo 1986, the Supreme Court reinforced this notion, stating, "The fact that an individual takes measures to restrict some views of his activities does not preclude an officer's observation from a public vantage point where he has a right to be." This means that as long as an officer is in a location where they are lawfully allowed to be, they have the authority to conduct investigative actions, including following a suspicious individual. It is important to note that at this point in the interaction, Mr. Baker had not been formally detained and remained free to leave. The key question is whether Deputy Hamilton had reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Baker at that moment. However, since Mr. Baker was still on a public road, it is highly likely that a court would rule that Deputy Hamilton had the legal authority to observe and follow him under existing laws. Sergeant Janulis arrived at the scene.
Come on over here.
Talk with me. I don't gotta go nowhere.
Talk with me.
I don't gotta go talk with nobody. I'm talking to you right here.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know. Ask this.
I'm asking you.
I'm asking this.
I'm asking you.
Ask this.
We got a call.
I don't know about your call.
Of a suspicious person?
What suspicious
That's
person?
it.
A black person?
No. They
A
said
black
they were
dude?
taking
A
photos,
black?
Photos
Yes, I'm
of
taking
houses.
photos. Yes.
Okay, for
yes,
what
I'm
reason?
videoing because I fucking feel like it.
Because
I feel like
All right.
it.
Can I get your ID, please?
No, you cannot.
Why not?
Why do you want my? I ain't commit no crime.
I'm not saying that you did.
All right, so you don't need my ID.
Yes, I do.
No, I don't. I'm not
Yes, I
committing
do.
no crime.
Yes, I do.
F out of here. You know my fucking rights.
Yeah, I'll need your ID.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
Man,
You're
I
not
ain't do
leaving.
shit.
Stay right
What
here.
you mean I ain't leaving?
You're not leaving.
Why? I ain't do nothing.
I still need to
I didn't
identify
do
you.
nothing. I didn't do nothing.
I don't care.
I didn't do
I still need
nothing.
to say who you
I didn't
are.
do nothing. Why you got your hand on your gun? I'm unarmed. There's two of y'all.
standing right here.
Why the f you
I'm
got your
standing
hand on
right
your
here.
gun?
I don't.
I'm unarmed.
It's on top
I'm
of you.
unarmed.
You see the
All I'm
safety on
doing
it?
is walking.
right.
You want to buy my daughter one of these houses? Do you want to buy my daughter one of these fucking houses? Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I'm
do,
just trying to
pussy.
figure out who you
Yes,
are.
you do. You don't need to know who I am.
right,
I ain't
do me a
committing no
favor. Turn
crime.
around.
My name Daryl Baker.
Okay, Daryl Baker.
What's up?
What's your date of birth?
The f is you talking about?
I'm not talking about anything. I'm right here, man.
Out my
I'm
face.
right here. Stop moving.
Why is y'all?
Stop moving.
Listen, I don't gotta stop moving.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Why is you
I'm
detaining
telling
me?
you,
For what?
stop.
For what?
Stop.
For what?
Stop.
For what? Man, don't touch me no more, bro. For what? I don't gotta stop moving.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. No, I don't. What crime did I commit?
I'm not saying you committed.
All right, so why am I stopping? Why am I detained? All I'm doing is walking through the fucking neighborhood.
Okay.
All I'm doing is walking
That's
through
fine.
the fucking neighborhood.
That's fine.
That's it.
Now I just need to make sure that you're clear.
Listen, man.
All
I
right?
don't listen, man. Get the fuck out of my face. That's what you do. You get the fuck out of my face.
I'm not getting out of your face. I'm right here, my man.
Out of my face.
But Mr. Baker,
Listen, man. Why is y'all harassing me?
Mr. Baker, he told you why he called. Well, we
Hey,
cannot
I don't
talk
care.
to
That don't got nothing to do with me.
Yes,
I
it do,
can't
Mr.
walk through a
Baker.
fucking neighborhood.
Baker, he
I
told you.
can't walk through a fucking neighborhood.
You always walking to
That's all I'm doing. I'm not driving. I'm walking
Okay.
through a fucking neighborhood.
So then what's the problem with telling us who you
Run
are?
your fucking name.
What's the
I
problem
do
with
the
telling us
fuck I want to do.
Okay.
I'm a free man. I do what the fuck I want to do.
Understand that.
And I ain't fucking scared of you.
Okay.
Or going to jail.
That's fine.
So get the fuck out of my
No,
face.
I'm not going to get out of your face.
Run the
Stay right here.
run the fucking name. Because you a dickhead ass white boy. That's what you want to be.
That's fine. You think how you want to.
You a dickhead ass white boy. That's what you want. Can I get some space?
No, you can't.
Man, you better get the
Stop.
Yo,
Stop.
yo, run my name. Don't
Mr.
touch
Baker.
me.
Mr. Baker.
Run my
stop.
name.
Stop.
Don't
Mr.
touch me.
Baker.
Why is you about to touch me?
Mr. Baker.
Why is he about to touch me?
Mr. Baker.
What you want to do? Shoot me?
No, I don't.
That's what you want to do? See? That's what you want to do?
I just want to know why
That's
you're
what you want to do? Because I fucking feel like it.
Okay.
Because I fucking feel like it.
Okay.
Because I fucking feel like it.
All right.
That's why the fuck I'm here.
Okay.
What's cracking?
Nothing's cracking, my man.
So why the fuck is you in my face?
I'm not in your
Run the
face.
fucking name and keep it moving.
I need to make sure that
Run
you're
the
good.
fucking name and get in that car.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Run my name and get in your fucking car.
I'm going to wait for another officer to get
Run
in
your
car.
name and get in your fucking car.
You're not going to dictate what I do. All right?
Yo, man.
Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker.
Yo, I'm trying to keep it moving like I've been
Mr.
doing.
Baker. Stop.
Why are you
Stop
touching
moving.
me, bro?
Stop.
Why are you touching me?
Stop moving.
Why is he
Stop.
touching
Mr. Baker, you need
me?
to
Why
stop,
are you
please.
Stop.
look?
Mr. Baker.
Why is he
Stop
touching
moving.
me?
Mr. Baker.
Stop
moving.
touching me.
Stop moving.
His name is. See his name?
Stop moving.
See his name?
All right.
See this fucking name?
Stop moving.
Why are you touching me?
Stop moving.
Why are you touching me,
moving.
bro?
Stop moving.
I don't gotta stop moving. I'm not detained. Am I detained?
Right now you are being detained.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Run my fucking name.
You need to calm
I'm
down.
not
Calm
being
down.
detained.
Yes, you are being detained right now.
Run my name.
Sergeant Janulis ordered Mr. Baker to stop and informed him that he was being detained. Section 107-14 of the Illinois Code of Criminal Procedure states that a peace officer may temporarily stop any person in a public place for a reasonable period if the officer has a justifiable suspicion, based on the circumstances, that the individual is about to commit or has committed a crime. During this stop, the officer is permitted to ask for the person's name, address, and an explanation of their actions. This law reflects the reasonable suspicion doctrine, a key principle established in Terry v. Ohio, which requires that an officer must rely on specific, articulable facts that suggest a person is engaged in or about to engage in criminal activity before detaining them. In Brown v. Texas 1979, the Supreme Court ruled that while officers may, in some cases, briefly detain individuals for questioning without full probable cause, they must still have reasonable suspicion based on objective factors that the person is involved in criminal conduct. When applying this standard, the court determined that detaining someone merely because they appeared suspicious or were unfamiliar to the area was insufficient justification. Such a detention would violate the Fourth Amendment because the officers lacked any specific, reasonable basis to suspect the individual of a crime. Similarly, while filming and photographing in public are protected under the First Amendment. In certain cases, such actions may serve as a basis for reasonable suspicion, for example, if evidence suggests the person is scouting a location for a potential crime. However, in the specific circumstances of this case, it is unlikely that officers had sufficient reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Baker.
I'll run it when I get another officer here, all right?
Yo, man, you is harassing me because I'm walking through your fucking community? I'm from New York. I'm an independent fucking contractor. Get the fuck off of me. Get the fuck off of me.
Stop.
Stop touching me. Run the fucking name and get the fuck out of my face. Period. All I did was go for a fucking walk. It's my fucking day off.
You say you're from New York?
I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of my face.
Hey, stop moving.
Yo,
listen, I've already told you.
Yo, run my name.
Stop moving.
So what you gonna do?
What do you mean, what am I
What
doing?
you gonna do?
What do you mean?
What you wanna do? What you wanna do?
Listen, I need to make sure.
What the run the name?
I'm not going to run until I get another officer here. You
Yo.
got it? Like I said, you're not going to dictate
I'm not
my
detained,
decision.
homie.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not a criminal.
Yeah, I didn't
How
say
you
were.
detaining that's not doing a crime?
I didn't say you
How
were.
you detaining somebody that's not doing a crime? How you detaining me because I'm walking through the fucking neighborhood? How you detaining me because I'm walking through the fucking neighborhood?
Stop.
All units emergency.
Talking about why am I here? I'm here because I fucking feel like it. I'm here because I fucking feel like it.
Stop moving.
Away
I'm
from me.
telling you to stop.
What you gonna do?
Right
You gonna
now,
arrest me?
You're going to be
You gonna arrest
You're
me?
going to get arrested for
You gonna arrest? I
obstruction.
don't give a
Okay.
You illegally detaining me. You illegally detaining me.
I'm not.
Man, run my name.
Listen, Mr. Baker.
Run my name.
Mr. Baker.
Why your hand on your gun? I'm unarmed. Your hand is on a fucking weapon.
It's on top
Why?
It's on top of my home.
I'm unarmed. You can't take me
I'm not saying that.
without your gun.
Stop.
An unarmed black man. An unarmed black man. You gonna buy me a house. That's what the fuck I'm looking for. A house. And you gonna buy it. You gonna buy it. You gonna buy it. Y'all see me looking at houses, recording, looking at houses.
Okay.
That's what the fuck I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Pointing,
That's what I'm doing.
your finger at
I'm
me?
pointing my finger. It's a finger. You gonna shoot me?
I'm going to say it was.
You gonna shoot me?
Is my gun out?
Is you gonna shoot me?
Is my gun out?
Shoot me.
Is my gun out?
Shoot me. Shoot. Shoot. You fucking racist devil. You gonna have my kids living like this. Shoot. Shoot.
Clearly, I can't talk to you.
Shoot.
You're in a little
Shoot.
agitated state.
Yeah, because your pig ass are harassing me. I'm walking through the neighborhood because I fucking feel like it.
Okay. And you're agitated right
Because I fucking feel like it.
Okay.
With a big ass dick.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Walking through the neighborhood with a big ass dick. And I'm from New York. I'm not from Chicago. I'm an independent contractor. I'm here for work.
Okay.
All I do is remodel Walmarts. I remodel every Walmart in the fucking city.
That's giving me more information.
So what's
I
up?
appreciate that.
Run my fucking name and get in your fucking cruiser. Go find a real criminal and get off my big ass black dick.
You want to calm down?
Cause these racist ass calling police. Cause I'm black walking through the neighborhood in the middle of the street. I'm black walking in the middle of the street.
Okay. So you know why we're here.
I don't give a f cause I'm black.
And no.
Yes,
No.
why I'm here.
I don't
Why you
know.
here?
We got a call.
Why you
That's
here? You got a call for what?
Suspicious person.
Suspicious doing what?
Taking pictures of houses.
So what? That's illegal?
No, I'm not saying it's illegal.
So what the f is the suspicion?
The suspicion?
What's the suspicion?
It's a person's suspicion.
It's a person.
My
What does that mean?
A person.
A person. What does that mean?
They're suspicious of somebody that's
I'm
in the
doing
neighborhood
what?
that they don't recognize.
Taking pictures.
That's it, yeah.
So what? It's a free fucking country.
Okay.
Run my name, man. Tired of talking to you.
Okay. You're not talking. You're yelling.
Niggas following me.
7340.
Do me a favor. Keep your hands out your
I don't
pockets.
got
for me,
nothing
all
in my. I don't got to do nothing. You gonna shoot me? Shoot me.
Shoot.
You gonna shoot me? Shoot me. Talk, man. My hands in my pockets. You ever heard of walking through the neighborhood black? You ever heard of driving while black? I'm walking while black. I'm walking while black. I'm walking while black. Why is your black ass on the field? I'm walking while black. Black ass. I'm walking while black.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm walking while black. Why am I being detained? Why is these niggas harassing me? Why am I being harassed?
You're not being harassed.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I'm trying to go about my day. I was going back to my hotel.
What hotel you staying
It
at?
doesn't matter.
What hotel you staying
Doesn't
at?
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just trying to have a conversation
Doesn't matter.
with you.
Call your backup so I can run. You can run my name so I can keep it moving. You holding me up, wasting my time. I'm trying to go about my day.
Yeah, and you're acting out of the norm
I'm not
right
acting
now.
nothing.
Yes,
I'm not
you are.
acting nothing.
Why are you so agitated?
I'm agitated.
Really?
I'm agitated.
How are you agitated?
How?
Yelling, motherfucking everybody.
I can yell.
Okay. All right.
I can motherfucker.
Is that normal behavior?
Is that a crime?
Is that normal behavior?
Is it a crime?
Is it normal behavior?
Is it a
for you?
crime?
Well, I just gotta make sure you're
Is
good,
it a
man.
crime?
I'm not saying it's a crime.
Is it a crime?
I'm not saying it's a crime.
Is it a crime?
I'm not saying it's a crime.
Is it a crime?
I'm not saying it's
Is
a
it a
crime.
crime?
Not saying
Am I committed a crime?
Not saying
Are you
that.
charging me with a crime?
Not saying
So
that.
leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. I didn't do no crime. I'm walking while black through the neighborhood. Leave me alone.
Let me finish. Stop walking.
I don't have to.
Stop walking.
I don't have to. I'm doing what I've been doing, walking, taking pictures.
Mr. Baker.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
Mr.
looking at
Baker.
houses. That's what I'm doing.
Mr. Baker,
That's a nice ass house right
When was your
there.
birthday?
That's a nice house.
Mr. Baker.
Damn, this is a nice house too, man. This house is nice too, man. Damn. Forest Green, that's nice.
Mr. Baker,
That's
do me a
nice
favor.
too, man. Dick face.
And it's out of New York?
Yes.
All right.
You're not going to take your badge off. You're not going to take your badge off. You're not going to take that gun off. You're not going to do nothing. Stop putting your fucking hands on me.
Right now you're being
You about
detained.
to shoot?
Everything's fine.
You about to shoot?
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
You about to shoot?
I'm not shooting nobody.
So why you got the gun on me?
It's not a gun.
Why am I being detained?
I told you
You're not
why.
going to cooperate. This is how we're going to handle this.
Absolutely. Let go of the phone.
Thank you.
You got a gun on me.
Anybody got no gun on
You
you?
got a gun on me. Take that Spanish
Yeah, okay.
dick.
I know.
Take that.
Walk back this way.
Yeah, Spanish. Why am I got the cuffs on me?
Told you why.
Why?
You're acting erratically.
While black. Walking while black. Walking while black. Walking, why am I going in the car for?
Because you are.
For what?
Because it's more secure area.
For what?
That's why.
Why? You gotta tell me, why am I going in this car?
Because I said safe.
Dick, I do what the fuck I want to do. I walk through any neighborhood I want to. I drink what the fuck I want to drink. I smoke what the fuck I want to smoke. I ain't on no papers. I ain't on none of your jurisdiction. Eat my dick. What you talking about? Okay, I got 14 years in prison. You gotta give a fuck about whatever you think you could do to me?
Sit down. Sit.
You's a racist ass.
Walk away. That's it.
You's a racist ass.
I'm trying to do my
You
job,
ain't
man.
doing shit.
I'm trying to do my
You ain't
job.
doing shit.
Absolutely.
Go look for a real fucking crime.
Overall, the Cook County deputies receive a failing grade due to their unjustified arrest of Mr. Baker without the necessary reasonable suspicion, their lack of professionalism, and their potential violation of his constitutional rights during the encounter. First and foremost, it is important to acknowledge that there was no valid justification for law enforcement officers to be dispatched to this call or even to engage with Mr. Baker in the first place. Responding to a report about a pedestrian taking photographs on a public street does not suggest criminal activity, nor does it provide a legitimate basis for a police investigation. While surveillance can be a lawful investigative tactic, actively provoking and verbally pressuring a suspect, as Deputy Hamilton did in this case, is neither an effective nor a prudent approach to observation. Instead of escalating the situation, the deputy could have maintained a safe distance and monitored Mr. Baker without direct engagement. Additionally, during the encounter, Sergeant Janilis reinforced a common misconception in law enforcement that merely receiving a call about a suspicious person is sufficient grounds for detention and identification. However, as explained in this case, reasonable suspicion is required to justify detaining someone in Illinois, and a report involving entirely lawful conduct does not meet that legal threshold. A valid reasonable suspicion must be based on some indication of criminal activity, which was entirely absent in this situation. Essentially, Deputy Hamilton initiated an interaction that unnecessarily agitated Mr. Baker to the point of frustration, then arrested him for reacting negatively. Instead of immediately confronting Mr. Baker, the deputy could have observed him from his patrol vehicle to determine if any actual criminal behavior was occurring before making contact. This incident underscores the importance of proper investigative training and the use of sound judgment in field situations. On the other hand, Mr. Baker earns a solid A- for his response. While he was assertive and at times abrasive, he maintained control over the situation, voiced his objections without becoming physically aggressive, and ultimately complied with the arrest without escalating the encounter further while his frustration was evident. It is understandable given the circumstances. From Mr. Baker's perspective, he was doing nothing illegal when officers arrived and reasonably suspected racial profiling, considering he was stopped while walking in a neighborhood with multi-million-dollar homes. However, Mr. Baker could have benefited from maintaining a more composed demeanor and speaking less during the interaction, as minimizing verbal engagement often helps in encounters with law enforcement. It is also important to note that he was not an auditor, nor did he intentionally provoke this situation, which was taken into account when assigning his score. Ultimately, I commend Mr. Baker for maintaining his composure and complying with what he believed to be an unlawful arrest. Today, we have an interesting situation from the Lake Ozark Police Department in Missouri, where a confrontation between an independent videographer and a police officer has caught attention. It all started when a man was filming on the sidewalk a completely legal activity in a public space. However, a police officer approached him and asked him to stop, claiming that people around here feel uncomfortable. The man, knowing his rights, had no intention of leaving. He asked the officer, "Am I free to go?" The officer responded, "Yes," without hesitation. The videographer replied, "Then I'm also free to stay." This response seemed to frustrate the officer. Instead of letting it go, he continued to pressure the man to leave. When his demands didn't work, the officer escalated the situation and decided to place the man under arrest. So, was the officer's action justified? Was the videographer causing a disturbance, or was he simply exercising his rights? Watch the video to see what really happened, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below.
Pretty good. What we doing?
If you don't mind me asking, is your body cam on?
It is.
Okay. Why do you have your gloves on?
I always wear my gloves.
Okay.
Why you have a mask on?
Do I not have the right to have a mask on?
Absolutely, but what are you doing filming the bank?
Exactly what it seems like.
For what?
Is there not a First Amendment?
There is a First Amendment, but you've got people...
One of the fundamental principles of law enforcement is that officers can only order someone to leave or arrest them if they have actually committed a crime. However, in this case, the officer was unable to cite any specific law the videographer had violated. Standing on a public sidewalk and filming is not illegal.
...concerned, so I'm just asking what you're doing.
So my right to record as people concerned? So you enforce feelings?
No, I'm just asking what you're doing.
Why don't you enforce the law?
Get your hands out of your pockets.
Okay. It's pretty cold, so...
I understand.
I don't have gloves like you, so...
You want some?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I like to have my hands in my
pocket. You got any ID on you?
Why would I need that?
I just wanted to find out who you are. You got a mask on, I can't see your face.
The officer claimed that the man was making people around him nervous. However, the mere discomfort of some individuals should not and cannot be a valid reason to restrict someone else's rights. Unless the videographer was engaging in harassment, threats, or obstruction, the officer had no legal grounds to ask him to leave.
Exactly. We're in public.
You are. But you need to vacate in front of the bank.
And where am I at?
You're in Lake Ozark, Missouri.
Am I not on the public easement?
You are.
So why do I need to vacate the public sidewalk?
Because you've got people nervous and they want to know what you're
doing. Are
you
giving me a lawful order?
I am giving you a lawful order.
Let me ask you this. Do you waive your qualified immunity?
I'm not going to play this game.
Did you waive your qualified immunity?
You need to step.
Did you waive your qualified immunity?
You need to get the step.
I'm asking you to pull out your sergeant. I'm asking you to get your sergeant. Get Sergeant Meyer. Get Sergeant Meyer.
I don't have to do that.
Get Sergeant Meyer. I'm asking you to get a sergeant here. You don't know the law.
Yeah, I know the law.
You're a dangerous man.
29 years I've been doing it.
You got your gloves on. You ready to put your hands on me? You ready to take me to jail?
My hands are on my vest.
You're giving me a unlawful order to vacate when I'm on a public sidewalk.
You are on a public sidewalk.
So why would I need to leave?
I'm giving you a lawful order.
Am I free? Am I free? Am I free to go?
Young man, I'm not. Yeah, you're free to go.
I'm free to stay. Thank you.
You need to vacate the area.
I'm not vacating.
Yeah, you are.
Nope.
You go with me then.
So you're gonna put your hands on me?
Yeah, turn
I asked you to put. I asked you to get Sergeant Meyer here.
I'm not gonna put.
I asked you to get Sergeant Meyer.
I've asked you to move.
I asked you to get Sergeant Meyer.
I've asked you to move.
I asked you to get Sergeant Meyer. You're gonna. No. You're gonna. Hey.
And that's how the video ends a clear example of what can happen when you dare to say no to the police. In this case, the man was standing on a public sidewalk, fully within his rights to film. What's striking is that the officer couldn't name a single crime he had committed. No harassment, no law-breaking, just a person exercising their freedom. Instead of citing a legal reason, all the officer could say was, "You're making these people nervous." But since when did someone else's discomfort become a valid reason to strip away an individual's rights? This isn't just a minor confrontation, it raises a bigger question. Are we truly free, or can our rights be taken away just because someone feels uncomfortable? Let's discuss this in the comments. If you care about justice, equality, and real-life stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel now. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Share this video to help spread awareness and build a strong community where everyone's voice matters. It was just another ordinary morning. A man stood outside a store, waiting for it to open, an action so simple, so unremarkable. He had already purchased items from a nearby shop, holding his shopping bag and passing the time. But to someone, his mere presence became a problem. There was no crime, no disturbance, no suspicious behavior. Yet, because a stranger felt uneasy, the police were called, and within minutes, they arrived. The officers explained that they had received a call about a man loitering outside the store. Without hesitation, they began questioning him. "Why are you standing here? Who are you waiting for? Can you show us your ID?" The man, though surprised, remained calm. He explained that he was just a paying customer, waiting for the store to open, nothing suspicious, nothing unusual. He even pointed to the shopping bag in his hand, proving he had just made a purchase nearby, but none of that seemed to matter. Because in this neighborhood, being a tall black man in a hoodie was enough to make someone feel suspicious. Prejudice turned a completely normal moment into a police confrontation. The question is, why does this keep happening? How many people are unfairly suspected every day just because of their appearance? How many are questioned, followed, or even denied basic rights simply because someone felt uncomfortable? This isn't a rare story. It has happened before. It is happening now, and it will keep happening unless we speak up.
All right.
Are you going to call for service as a suspicious person?
A suspicious person?
Because you had a mask on.
Because I had. It's been a lot of pollen out here, and I've been sneezing like crazy.
That's what we said. Right. So is voluntary. Do you mind if we run your driver's license to identify you and be on your way?
No. Well, I do mind because
they start asking questions, interrogating, demanding ID, not because he's actually suspicious, but because they've already decided that he might be a problem. They didn't come to uncover the truth. They came to confirm what they already believed.
I haven't done anything. Okay. I purchased something from this store. I purchased something from that store. Okay. I'm a paying customer, so just to get stopped.
I didn't want to, if you're in there purchasing goods, I didn't want to go.
If this was the guy, how about we do this? It's an associate in the store. Okay. After I purchased something from this store, I got a Coca-Cola right there in my bag. The woman was walking out. I asked her, "What time does this store open?" She said, they're normally open by now. Maybe he'll come in a little while. I said, "Okay, I'll just wait till they come." Okay. And I sat here, I waited till the guy came. He came in, he opened the door, he went to the back, he took off over there. I had no choice but to wait because he took off over there. He went inside the store. I had to wait. So you came in, you purchased something. I thought you purchased something. You came back out. I said, okay. I really didn't want to come in behind you because if you're an officer and you purchased something, I don't want to get in your business on what you purchased in a head shop, smoke shop. So, but that was it.
Okay.
And we can ask the associate over here.
I mean, there's no need to ask. Just like you said, we just got a call for service, and that's it. Okay?
Like I said, we normally ask, hey, if you want to identify yourself, because we like it for our call slip, that we've done a due diligence. We request.
So somebody called the cops on me for waiting for a store to
just
open.
Said it was suspicious that you were waiting in the corner, looked like there were laundering, and just wanted us to check it out. Which, to be fair, I think he arrested a guy about a month and a half ago for robbing the Bahama Mamas. So we do have a lot of activity in this area, burglaries.
They cite that the area had been dealing with thefts. They mention a robbery from a month and a half ago. They talk about previous criminals as if that has anything to do with him. But the truth is clear. If he didn't look like he did, they wouldn't be doing this.
A lot of profiling. It's a lot of profiling. A big black guy, I cannot help the way I look. I cannot help that I'm black. And I have a large stature.
To them was the mask.
You know what?
Like
You know what? I've been stopped at Walmart before. In the middle of the winter. I had a beanie on. The police kicked me out. And they said, oh, you have a beanie on. Oh, we thought you were somebody else who have a beanie. 1 million people. It's cold outside.
Yeah. You're not doing anything wrong. One last time, do you want to identify yourself? Yes.
No, I do not, man, because I did nothing. I'm a paying customer.
You have a wonderful day. Thank you. And just
all right,
make sure
you too.
not to take the Kroger basket because it belongs to them, okay?
Pretty sure or you're positive?
I can argue with you.
All right, well, I'll just turn around and I'll check.
Here's your information.
You want to hand it to me, please?
That's as far as I'm
Would you please stick it through the window?
I'm not going to do that, Mr. Stewart.
All right, well then, I don't know what to tell you.
Sounds like we're going to be on the side of the road a long time.
Well, I guess so.
Hello everyone. If you enjoy the content on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any new videos. Today, I'm bringing you a super exciting video that has reached 30 million views on YouTube. Let's find out why it's so popular. Let's get started. In a tense traffic stop, the driver doesn't panic or stumble. Instead, he calmly repeats a simple phrase, "I don't answer questions." This isn't mere stubbornness, it's a calculated strategy, firmly rooted in constitutional rights. The Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects every citizen from being compelled to testify against themselves in any criminal case. Understanding this, the driver provides only the legally required documents, license, registration, and insurance. Beyond that, he says nothing. The officer tries to probe, pressing for answers, but quickly realizes that every attempt is futile. The driver knows that silence is his strongest legal shield. He remains composed, refusing to let words become a weapon against him. In this brief yet intense standoff, the true winner isn't the one with authority, it's the one who knows their rights.
Yes, sir.
Roll your window down for me, please.
I can hear you just fine.
So I'm going to have to ask you to roll the window down.
I can hear you just fine, officer. There's my license.
To roll the window down, please.
I can hear you just fine, officer. There's my license. There's my registration. Or my insurance.
Is there some reason you can't roll the window down? I saw you roll it up.
I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions?
That's correct.
What's the reason for that?
I don't answer questions. Do you want my license and registration or not?
Pronounce your last name for me.
I don't answer questions.
I'm going to need you to pronounce your last name.
I don't answer questions. It's there on the license.
The officer's fixation on the rolled-up window turns into a comical power struggle. But the driver remains firm, refusing to comply with demands that have no legal basis. There is no law requiring a driver to fully roll down their window during a traffic stop. The U.S. Supreme Court in Terry v. Ohio 1968 ruled that an officer needs reasonable suspicion to justify a stop. However, that does not grant unrestricted access to the inside of the vehicle. Understanding this legal boundary, the driver leaves the window open just a small gap, enough to pass documents through, but not enough to allow a full view inside or unrestricted access. At that moment, the officer's demand is no longer an order, it's just meaningless noise. This is a masterclass in knowing the difference between what the law requires and what is merely police bluster. And in this exchange, the one holding the power isn't the officer, it's the driver.
The reason I stopped you were traveling 43 and a 30.
Actually, I think it said 40.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's 30.
You're pretty sure or you're positive? You're pretty sure or you're positive?
I can argue with you.
All right, well, I'll just turn around and I'll check.
Here's your information.
You want to hand it to me, please?
That's as far as I'm
Would you please stick it through the window?
I'm not going to do that, Mr. Suter.
All right, well then, I don't know what to tell you.
Sounds like we're going to be on the side of the road a long time.
Well, I guess so.
So when the driver asks, "Am I being detained or am I free to go?" he's not just asking a question, he's forcing the officer to confront the limits of their own authority. The Fourth Amendment protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. The U.S. Supreme Court in Rodriguez v. United States 2015 ruled that police cannot extend a traffic stop beyond its original purpose without reasonable suspicion. Caught off guard, the officer hesitates, fumbles, and ultimately hands back the documents, signaling the stop's end. By persistently repeating one simple yet powerful question, the driver flips the script, forcing the officer to squirm under the weight of their own authority.
Give me another opportunity to take your information, Mr. Suter, and roll your window down so I can hand you the citation.
You can pass it right through here. Thank you.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm willing to take it right here. Would you please give this to me, or are you not going to give me the ticket? Am I free to go? I am being detained? Am I being detained? He won't answer me.
Mr. Suter, here's your copy.
Thank you.
Court date is June 6th, June 7th at 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
In the final move of this battle of wits, the officer tries to serve a citation, but the driver refuses to reach out and take it, forcing the officer to handle the situation strictly by the book. What many don't realize is that there is no law requiring a driver to physically accept a ticket. According to state law, service of a citation is considered complete once it has been offered, as outlined in California Vehicle Code Section 40.500. If the driver refuses to take it, the officer has no legal means to enforce compliance beyond issuing the citation. This is a checkmate. The driver wins without lifting a finger, proving that knowledge of the law can shatter a cop's ego on the spot.
Real quick, I see you reaching all over the place, man. You good?
I'm good, man. How long it take to write a ticket, bro?
All right, I'm working on it.
Oh,
I'm gonna ask you got anything in this car? We gotta know
there
about
no
guns,
weapons,
drugs,
there's
knives,
nothing.
bombs,
I
explosives.
already told her.
On the evening of May 30th, 2023, a driver in Chicago was pulled over by two police officers for allegedly failing to use his turn signal when changing lanes. But this wasn't just a routine traffic stop. It was a prime example of the growing frustration surrounding unnecessary police interactions with citizens. Thanks to platforms like this, more people are becoming aware of the tactics officers use to prolong encounters, escalate situations unnecessarily, and, in some cases, simply assert their authority. In this video, you'll witness how these two officers attempt to turn a minor traffic violation into a drawn-out confrontation. But what stands out is that this driver refuses to play along. He holds his ground, questions the validity of the stop, and most importantly, doesn't allow the officers to control the conversation. Think about this. How many times have you seen a police officer run a red light or change lanes without signaling, just because they can? And how often are minor infractions like this used as an excuse to pull people over, intimidate them, and search for a reason to escalate the situation? This is no longer just about public safety, it's about power and control. The driver in this video doesn't back down, he knows his rights, remains confident, and forces the officers to confront the reality that they have no legitimate reason to detain him. Watch this interaction unfold and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced a situation like this?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Why you pull me over?
I want to start with the old police car. I pulled you over because you made that left turn off 167th on LaGrange Road. You made it in the middle lane. You gotta make it into the left lane, the curb lane.
I went in the left lane.
You went right into the left, the middle
No,
lane.
I didn't.
You
No, I
have a driver's
didn't.
license insurance
No, I
on you?
didn't. You got footage?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, no. Show me the footage.
You
You're
can't
lying.
see it.
I went into the left lane.
Okay, can I have your driver's license and proof of insurance?
I need a sergeant.
No, I need a driver's license and proof of
No.
insurance.
Don't tell me no.
I do.
I need a sergeant.
There's no sergeant available right now.
Yes, there is. Call in, and I need to hear on the radio. If there isn't, then we can go from there.
No, you're not running
No.
my traffic stop. Someone asked you for your driver's
No,
license and proof of insurance.
you're pulling me over, and it's wrong.
It's not. Driver's license
I went
and
into the
insurance.
left lane. No.
44, another car.
What's going on?
You won't give me a license.
Alright, move. What's going on, man? What's going on? You won't give him his license?
I need a sergeant.
You're not getting a sergeant. Unlock the car. Don't
I need. Listen.
You will get a sergeant, but you gotta go to our station.
No.
Yes.
He told me there was no sergeant available.
There isn't a sergeant available.
How do you guys know?
But you can go, because we have a little clipboard that our computer shows how everyone's available and not available. We do not have a sergeant on scene right now. If you want to complain, though,
Okay.
you can go to our station.
Look. Take your hand off my door. I'm gonna give you my license. Okay? I will. I will.
Alright,
I'm gonna
just so
give you
you
my
know.
license.
Okay.
We need to calm down the situation.
You
all right?
too, okay?
Okay.
Alright, then we're good. You got a license?
All right.
Alright, just so you know that if you decide to take off, there's a stop stick
I already
underneath your
stopped.
tire,
I already
okay?
stopped.
I'm just telling you, there's a stop stick underneath your tire
I
in
don't
case
care.
you take
I
off.
don't care. I
just have
stopped.
to inform
If somebody stops, why are they running away? Right?
I've seen it.
I don't care.
I've seen people have your ID on you.
Okay. Just calm down. I'm cool. Okay. Here's
We're good.
here's my license.
Yeah, you're
Y'all
right.
just caught me on a bad day. Okay.
What's going on today?
It don't matter what's going on. I'm in a bad mood. Okay. That's it. It doesn't matter what's going on.
What'd you do today?
It doesn't matter. Okay, here's my license. Check it. If y'all want to write me the ticket, I'm going to court. That's it.
Nah, man, look, we ain't trying to make you write a ticket and everything.
No,
As long
because
as
you
you're
guys
cool
were in the
with
gas station, and then you guys were in the light, and y'all followed me, right or not? Y'all targeted me,
No,
right or not?
No, you didn't use the turn signal.
I did not.
And you
But why
you
he
made
didn't
an
tell me?
The police claimed that the driver was stopped for failing to use a turn signal when changing lanes. However, when the driver questioned them, they were unable to provide clear evidence. In fact, they even changed the reason from not signaling to improper turn. This suggests that the police may have stopped the vehicle without probable cause or reasonable suspicion. Additionally, the driver realized that he had been followed by the police from the gas station, raising concerns about whether he was being unfairly targeted. Surveillance without a valid reason could potentially violate privacy rights.
He didn't tell me. I did put up turn signal number one. He
Not-
told
not
me
turning-
it was because
not
I went in the
turning-
middle lane.
Not turning.
Anyway, this is not
southbound
something
on
to
the
argue
Grange
about.
Road.
We're not arguing. If you want to write me a ticket, write me it. I'll go to court, and we can work from there. I don't want no problems. I don't want
want no
to
problems
make
either.
a fucking movie and all this stupid shit. We
Nah,
don't
fuck
need
that
it.
shit, right?
We don't need it.
We don't need it. Where you stay at?
Doesn't matter. It's on my license.
Alright, dude.
Okay?
You ain't gotta be a dick.
I told you I'm pissed off today. Okay?
Yeah, I have bad days too, but you know, if I act like that, like
Y'all
this,
targeted me.
I'm not targeting you.
Y'all was following me from the gas station.
Nope.
Yes or no?
Was our vehicle behind you?
And then y'all, it
Was
was a
our
red
vehicle-
light. Y'all cut the light without turning
Because
on
you
your
didn't use
lights.
the turn signal, and then
No,
you made
I
an
did.
improper turn.
I did. If
No,
you could
didn't.
show me the footage.
So we do. We have our camera, our dash cam on. But hear me out. We saw you not use the turn signal. Okay? And then you made an improper turn. I don't know if he didn't tell you that, but I'm telling you that now. Because I was on that side, I couldn't hear shit because of the wind and, you know, the traffic driving.
All right.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
As soon as your license checks out valid, we'll get you out of here, alright?
All right.
Okay?
All right.
I don't like to write tickets.
All
Okay?
right.
I'll be straight with you. I don't like to write tickets.
All right.
How old are you?
It's on my license.
I don't got your license, man.
All right. Please, I don't want to have no small talk. I'm just not in the mood. All right.
I get it.
All
You
right.
don't gotta do small talk then. But the whole thing, I did have to tell you about the stop sign, okay? That's underneath your tire.
I'm not going nowhere. I stopped. All right.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times people have handed me their license, and they're like, all right, see you later.
All right, because y'all playing little games also. Y'all on Indiana plates, right?
We don't what?
Y'all playing games. Y'all got
games.
Indiana license
You know how much
plates.
cheaper it is to have
All
shit out of Indiana?
It's not that it's cheaper. That's bullshit.
It is cheaper.
And then y'all got an Uber sticker. It's cheaper?
Yeah, it's an unmarked
cheaper
spot.
too? Come on, bro.
It's an unmarked
Y'all
spot.
playing stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's what it is.
No,
Don't
that's
tell
an
me it's
unmarked
cheaper.
squad. It is cheaper, by the way. Indiana compared to Illinois is completely cheaper. And I think you know that. Illinois is bullshit. Alright, give me a second. Good try every morning, alright?
Y'all see the bullshit I gotta fucking deal with? The motherfuckers wanna come live in Chicago, man. Come on, bro.
Real quick, I see you reaching all over the place, man. You good?
I'm good, man. How long it take to write a ticket, bro?
Alright, I'm working on it. I'm gonna ask you got anything in this car we gotta know
There ain't
about?
no
Guns,
weapons,
drugs,
there's
knives,
nothing.
bombs,
I
explosives?
already told her. I'm not making no problems, there's no problems. Okay?
Okay, I'm just
That's
asking
that
you.
word is bond. That's it.
I can't hear you. What?
The word is bond.
Word is what?
It's bond.
It's bun?
No problems.
Okay. Alright, so
All
do you
right.
have any of those illegal substances in the vehicle?
What
Any contraband?
did I just say?
I don't understand.
I said there's nothing in the car.
You said the word is bum, so I didn't understand what that meant.
Bond. B-O-N-D.
Okay.
Bond.
What does
All
that
right? It doesn't matter what it means. Anyway, how long does it take to write a ticket?
Well, at this point, because of the way you're acting, everything going on, I'm working on getting a canine to come out.
All right, bring K9, bring the FBI, bring the CIA. Do whatever you gotta do, bro.
Okay, so I'm asking if there's anything now we can...
I already told you.
Okay.
The police continuously ask questions implying that the driver may be carrying illegal items or acting suspiciously despite having no evidence. This is a common tactic used to apply psychological pressure and force the driver into admitting fault or complying with unreasonable demands.
Alright, give me a couple minutes.
All right.
Okay, here's my hands.
What are you doing?
Here, take a look. You can see plain view what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here.
No, I can't see inside the vehicle. That's why I'm asking. I have several people that are calling in concerned about your vehicle being parked here with the windows covered.
Yeah, I covered them up. It's Sunday. I mean, daily. You understand. You don't look like you understand. Why you give me that blank stare?
I'm not, sir.
What's the complaint exactly? Just the covering of the windows?
That there is a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot where kids play.
Yeah?
Shoes outside, the windows covered.
Huh.
The reason given was that the car's windows were covered, potentially violating Section 545.302 of the Texas Transportation Code, which states that a vehicle must not obstruct the driver's view. However, the driver argued that he was not driving but merely parked, and the sunshade was only used to block sunlight, a daily habit of his. When the officer requested identification, the driver remained calm, asserting that there was no sufficient legal basis to comply with the request. The situation quickly escalated, raising questions about whether the officer's initial suspicion was justified. This highlights a potentially imprudent approach that unnecessarily intensified a situation that could have been resolved more amicably.
That there is a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot where kids play.
Yeah?
Shoes outside, the windows covered.
Huh. That's unfortunate.
Do you have your license?
For what?
So that I can identify you?
Is this a traffic stop?
No, sir. This is a complaint.
Yeah? Alright. Well, did you identify the complainants? Who are they? I mean, I saw some people around. I guess those are the people that called. Do you know who they are?
I don't.
You asked for their ID?
I have not spoke with them. Our dispatcher
Okay.
did. May I see your ID, sir?
You got quite a surprised look on you.
I don't.
You're not jacked up on energy drinks or anything, right?
Sir, may I see your license?
What's the crime?
I told you that you're a suspicious
Okay.
vehicle parked in a parking lot where there's lots of children.
Do you know where this is going? Is that a misdemeanor or is it a felony? Daly? D. Daly. What's your first name?
I'm Sergeant Daly with the Rusk Police
Sergeant D. Daly.
Department. My badge number is 104.
I don't care. Whatever that means. Where do I look up a badge number?
Do you,
City
are
of
you gonna
Rusk.
provide your license?
Well, will you give me your license?
I don't have mine
I'll
on
exchange. I'll exchange. What? You're driving without a license? Why would you be doing that? That's kind of illegal.
me. Make it that return. My
Well-
license is in my vehicle. I have it on me. at
Oh,
all
sure.
times.
Yeah, let's. I don't see what the problem is. I mean, you're escalating this issue. Here. All right.
Washington, Adam, Queen,
Yeah.
5545.
Okay.
May I see your license so that I can
May I see,
identify
yes,
you?
may I see your license so that I can identify you fully? I need to see a picture ID, please. One picture ID from D-Daily, please.
No, sir.
No, sir?
No, sir.
Ma'am, are you a ma'am or a sir? I can't tell.
Go ahead.
Can you, what? Oh, you're here to, oh, you got,
I'll be right back.
I mean, oh, all right.
The officer persisted in demanding that the driver present identification, attempting to justify the request by implying that the driver's behavior was suspicious. However, under Texas law, an officer can only require identification if there is reasonable suspicion of a crime. The driver, aware of his rights, pushed back against the officer's vague justifications, questioning the basis for the stop. As the encounter unfolded, the driver began to notice the officer's hesitation and indication of uncertainty in her own reasoning. With growing confidence, he challenged her inability to establish a clear legal foundation for the stop. Rather than being intimidated, he remained calm and composed, making it clear that he would not hand over his license without a valid reason. His unwavering stance exposed not only the officer's lack of professionalism, but also the apparent overreach of her authority. What could have been a routine interaction was now turning into a test of legal boundaries and law enforcement accountability. The tension in the air was undeniable, yet the driver maintained his resolve, refusing to be coerced into compliance without cause. His refusal was not an act of defiance, but rather a demand for proper protocol and due process. Meanwhile, the officer's struggle to justify her actions underscored the importance of law enforcement officials understanding and respecting the very laws they are meant to uphold. This confrontation highlighted a larger issue: how easily authority, when unchecked, can cross the line into overreach. In this moment, the driver was not just defending his own rights. He was holding the system accountable, exposing the fragile balance between power and justice.
Excuse me.
Back away from my vehicle, please.
Yep. Well,
All right, Travis,
what's up?
here's the deal. So
What's
there's
that?
several people that are concerned
Yeah,
about this.
I'm sorry
because
that
it's
happened.
suspicious, okay?
Yeah.
They're worried about the children and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So if you could maybe just keep the covers off the windows, and that would put them
yeah.
at ease, okay?
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Okay, yeah. One picture ID from D-Daily, please.
No, sir.
No, sir?
No, sir.
Ma'am, are you a ma'am or a sir? I can't tell.
Go ahead.
Can you, what? Oh, you're here to, oh, you got,
I'll be right back.
I mean, oh, all right.
After a prolonged back and forth, the officer finally conceded that there was no actual violation of the law. However, instead of admitting fault, she reluctantly offered a vague suggestion, advising the driver to remove the sunshade. When pressed further, she had no choice but to acknowledge that there was no law prohibiting the use of a sunshade as long as it did not obstruct the driver's view. Throughout the entire encounter, the driver remained calm and composed, fully aware that he had committed no offense. Not only did he stand his ground, but he also exposed the officer's failure to justify her actions with any legal basis. Rather than yielding to pressure, he skillfully turned the situation around, making the officer's attempt to escalate the confrontation appear baseless and unnecessary. In the end, with one final sharp remark, the driver took full control of the situation, laying bare the reality of the encounter and unnecessary confrontation driven by an overreach of authority. Left with no further justification, the officer quietly walked away, leaving the driver as the undeniable victor of the exchange, a testament to the power of knowing one's rights and maintaining composure under pressure. A driver was operating their vehicle lawfully, fully complying with all traffic regulations, when they suddenly noticed a police car following behind them for a period of time. A few minutes later, the police vehicle unexpectedly activated its emergency lights, signaling the driver to pull over. The officer approached and informed the driver that the reason for the stop was to conduct a health check on the vehicle operator. According to Terry V., Ohio, 390 U.S. 1968, a police officer must have reasonable suspicion that a crime has occurred, is occurring, or is about to occur. The officer acknowledged that the driver had not violated any traffic laws and was not suspected of any criminal activity. Nevertheless, he insisted that the stop was justified solely on the basis of what he referred to as a health check, without providing any further specific grounds.
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm Officer Alfonso with the Deland Police Department.
What'd you pull me over for?
For a well-being check. That's all it is. I saw that once I got behind you, you keep turning off, and then...
A well-being check, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure you're okay. You keep pulling off the road and coming back on the road and stuff, so I'm trying to see if you're having a medical emergency or anything like that, that's all.
You're pulling me over. You're stopping me from what I'm doing. Because you're concerned? Because...
Yes.
Did I commit a crime?
I said I'm just doing a well-being check on you.
Did I commit a traffic infraction?
No, I'm just doing a well-being check.
Is this what is your name?
Officer Alfonso with the Deland Police Department.
Who's the other officer?
What is it?
Who's the other officer?
Officer Amat. He's right over there. Just doing a well-being check on you, man. You keep I'm do you have a supervisor on duty? I can get a supervisor.
I'd like a supervisor over here.
See that a car is doing some type of maneuvers or anything like that.
What maneuver was it that you?
I just said that you kept pulling off and on onto the road and all.
How many times did I pull off the road?
It was a total of 2 times that you did that. So I was trying to check.
Is this the second time, the traffic stop?
No, the second time was when you pulled off into the Stetson field.
When was the first time?
The first time it was by the potato patch, if you know where that is. That's right down there by the Dixie Lodge. I don't know if you're from the area.
Really? Is that on video?
It is actually. My dash cam records up to a minute before anything happens.
Anything happens. So when did you start recording?
It's a minute before the
lights turned on. So I was in that Stetson lot for more than a minute.
But it's still happened under my presence. I was just doing a well-being check. The supervisor's coming. Okay, he's gonna.
Well, I mean, you're the one that pulled me over. You've got me.
Well, you requested a supervisor.
Because you've got me over here on the side of the road.
Yeah, for a well-being check.
When the driver began to question the officer's authority to stop him without a valid reason, he raised concerns about the legality of the action. Nevertheless, the officer insisted on keeping him there and requested that he wait for the supervisor's arrival. According to the ruling in Florida v. Roya, for 160 U.S. for 191/1983, a person is considered to be under arrest if they do not feel free to leave due to the actions of law enforcement. Detaining someone without a legitimate legal reason is deemed a violation of personal freedoms. The driver pointed out that the activation of emergency lights and the order to stop the vehicle turned this incident into an illegal detention. However, the officer continued to insist that his actions were merely to ensure the driver's safety.
So how long do you need to conduct your well-being check?
This was it, but you called the supervisor, so I'm just waiting on my...
Because you're illegally detaining me on the side of the road, sir.
I'm just doing a well-being check. I never said you're being detained or anything.
Sir, I'm not detained. There's lights on behind me. You pulled me over to the side of the road. How am I supposed to believe that I'm not being detained?
Like I said, my supervisor's on his way. Well, I'll go ahead and talk to my supervisor. You would have been free to go now because I see that you're doing perfectly fine, but you called for my supervisor. That's why.
I'm concerned that you're pulling people over for not doing a goddamn thing wrong.
I got you. Well, my supervisor...
I'm concerned that you're detaining people on the side of the road for no good goddamn reason.
Well, we're just doing a well-being check on you.
I'm not real concerned about your well-being checking me. You're pulling citizens over on the side of the road for their well-being. Is that what I'm to understand?
We can do that.
You can do that, huh?
Might be having a medical issue.
What kind of medical issue would somebody have pulling over on the side of the road?
Like I said, you pulled over more than once. I was trying to make sure you were okay.
I don't like to be followed by police.
Okay. It's a public roadway. I'm allowed to follow you if I wanted to.
Yep. And I guess you're allowed to illegally detain me too, huh?
I never said you were detained. I said
Sir, I'm not detained. I'm not detained. What do those lights mean?
You can leave right
Okay. When an officer pulls behind you, you rude motherfucker. You see what's going on here? I'm in Deland. I got pulled over for a well-being check. They want to check my well-being. I got a supervisor coming here. Yeah, no, you're good, man. All right, let me get back to this. They got a supervisor coming up here. Yeah, I'm good.
When the sergeant arrived, he attempted to justify the officer's actions by repeating the baseless claim that the driver was stopped for a health check without providing any clear rationale. According to the ruling in Brown v. Texas for 143 U.S. 47, 1979, detaining an individual without any specific events that can link them to unlawful conduct is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. The driver challenged the sergeant, asking why the police had the authority to stop innocent people and detain them on the side of the road. Frustrated by the driver's refusal to comply, the sergeant dismissed the concerns without addressing the clear constitutional violation.
How's it going, man?
How do you think it's going? Is it Sergeant still, Sergeant Salmon?
It is.
Why are your officers pulling people over for no crime?
Okay, so he was conducting a well-being check on you. You were some concerning
behaviors, like pulling to the side of the road safely in a safe manner.
Okay. He said you did so several
not violating any traffic and You have me detained on the side of the road, and you don't want to listen to me.
Refusing to accept the injustice, the driver decided not to remain silent and chose to go directly to the police station to file an official complaint under 40 to U.S. C. 1983. This statute stipulates that any officer who violates an individual's constitutional rights under the color of law can be held civilly liable, regardless of acting under the guise of law. With a solid understanding of his legal rights and the applicable regulations, the driver refused to be intimidated or pressured by officers who may have believed they could abuse their authority without facing any consequences. His decision to challenge their unlawful actions not only exposed the corruption lurking within the police force, but also sent a clear message that such illegal conduct would never go unchecked. This ensured that accountability would be established and misconduct would not be forgiven.
Howdy.
Roll down all the way, man.
Why is that?
Roll down all the way so I can talk to you better.
We can talk, right?
Roll it down all the way. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
What law is that?
Why are you starting this, man?
Well, you're telling me to roll my window. We can talk.
Welcome to our channel. If you enjoy engaging and valuable videos and want to stay updated with our latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button today. Subscribing helps ensure you never miss a video and motivates us to continue creating even more high-quality content. Thank you for being with us and for your support. When Officer Jackson requested that the driver roll down all the windows during a traffic stop, the driver calmly refused. He explained that, under Arkansas's law, there is no provision requiring a driver to fully lower their windows as long as a reasonable level of communication with law enforcement is maintained. The driver asserted that partially lowering the window was sufficient for both parties to hear clearly and exchange all necessary information. However, Officer Jackson continued to insist that fully opening the windows was more convenient for the conversation and began to express suspicion over the driver's refusal to comply. He implied that not immediately following his command could be a sign of concealment or potentially suspicious activity. Despite the growing pressure from the officer, the driver remained composed and resolute, emphasizing that he was under no obligation to surrender his privacy in the absence of clear legal grounds. He stated that while he was willing to cooperate within the bounds of the law, he also had a responsibility to protect his constitutional rights, especially his right to safety and his right not to be compelled into complying with non-mandatory requests. This situation illustrates a clear example of the tension between individual rights and the authority of law enforcement, a space where understanding and properly exercising one's civil liberties can make a significant difference in how an encounter unfolds and is ultimately recorded.
Howdy.
Roll down all the way, man.
Why is that?
Roll down all the way so I can talk to you better.
We can talk, right?
Roll it down all the way. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
What law is that?
Why are you starting this, man?
Well, you're telling me to roll my window. We can talk, right?
Yeah, roll it down more.
But
But why?
So I can talk to you better, man. I'm not going to talk to you through a crack like this.
We can talk.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, anything like that.
I'm really not trying to be rude to you either, but...
So what's the deal? Why don't you want to roll it down on the way?
Because I don't have to.
You want to?
You just
trying to be difficult?
I'm not trying to be difficult. Do you want my license and registration?
Yeah, if you don't care.
What's the reason for stopping me?
First off, okay, I'm Trooper Jackson Little with the Arkansas State Police, okay?
I appreciate that.
The reason I'm pulling you over is speeding. You know how fast you're going?
I do.
How fast are you going?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, I got you going 87 in the 65, man. That's a little quick.
I got this dash cam here.
Yeah.
And it records my speed.
Okay, how fast does it say you're going?
I'm not going to answer that question, but I know it wasn't that. This is registration, insurance.
You were going,
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay.
I'm really not trying to be difficult with you, sir.
So what's the deal then?
Well, what deal?
Like why are you just being so defensive and argumentative?
With what?
Everything I'm saying.
Well, I don't believe...
I'm not being cooperative by rolling the window down. It's not a huge deal. I'd like to talk to you better, you know, instead of...
I think that we're talking fine, though, aren't we?
We were, but it's not...
Well, hold on. Let's start over.
We're not going to argue.
I don't want to argue with you, but let's start over.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
My name's James. You have my
nice
ID
to meet
here.
You, man.
And I just don't... The reason for the window, I'm not trying to be defensive or argumentative or anything.
Yeah.
I just don't like to have it all the way down.
Why is that?
I just don't.
Why is that, man?
I just don't.
Okay. Everyone's different, I guess.
Everyone is a little different, yeah. You like it down, I don't, you know.
Okay. Everything looks good here. So you don't think you were speeding?
I don't want to answer any questions regarding that.
Why not?
It's
not a huge deal, man. It's just speeding.
I get it, and I don't think it's a huge deal to not.
Something, you know, if you don't think you're going that fast, something could be wrong with your car or something, man. You know, you never know that.
It's 2021.
Rude, nothing like that, man.
I'm not trying to be rude either.
I know you're being nice now, so I appreciate that.
Well, I feel like I've been nice.
Yeah, it's the deal is, man. We go, you know, if you give us signs by not being cooperative by the little things.
We're not cooperating?
Just listen. Let me talk, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
After the initial exchange about the car windows, Officer Jackson quickly shifted focus to a speeding allegation. He claimed that the driver had been traveling at 87 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone, citing Arkansas's statute to 7532, a provision that mandates any speeding citation be supported by a properly calibrated speed detection device. However, the driver remained composed and unshaken. He had a dash cam that recorded not only the journey, but also real-time speed data, and he immediately referenced this footage as potential evidence to challenge the accusation. When pressed to admit to a specific speed, the driver firmly refused, invoking his right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment, protecting him from making any self-incriminating statements. Recognizing that the driver was not unfamiliar with the law, Officer Jackson appeared to soften his tone, attempting to downplay the situation. Still, he continued to apply subtle pressure, pushing the driver to comply with unnecessary requests. While such details might seem trivial to some, it's often these seemingly minor moments that carry significant weight, where a clear understanding of one's rights can be the dividing line between a fair encounter and a quiet erosion of civil liberties.
Those little things can mean a lot sometimes, man. For all you know, you could be trying to hide something, anything like that. So those are just little clues. I'm not saying you are. Not accusing you of anything.
Well, we're just operating within the bounds of the law right now, aren't we? Are we just operating within the bounds of the law right now?
We are.
Then,
but those are just little clues, man. I mean, it's kind of weird when you don't want to roll your window down on the way. It's just a little weird, man.
It's a little weird that you're just demanding I do something. You said that you're not asking, you're telling me, and you don't have the legal grounds to tell me to roll my window all the way down. That's the only thing. That was a lie.
A lie?
Yeah.
It's not a lie.
Do I have to roll my window down?
I can make a bigger deal out of that. I'm not going to, though.
Do I have to roll my window down all the way? Is that a law?
I do what I asked, man.
Is that a law?
And if you think that's violating whatever, we can take it to court.
We can take that one to court. That is not a law that I have to have my window all the way down.
Like that. But like I said, it's speeding, man. It's not a huge deal.
And I understand that, and that's why I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, because you were telling me to do something that I don't have to do.
I can tell you to do whatever I want. If you think it's violating,
you can tell me to do whatever you want.
If you think it's a violation of whatever thing you're talking about, we can take it.
Well, I don't think you violated anything right now.
Okay, yeah. Good deal.
No, I think we have a disagreement on what the law says on the window.
What's the deal, man? Honestly, like what?
Well, there's zero deal.
Okay, so just what?
You've got me stopped.
Yeah.
You're accusing me of speeding, you say?
Yeah.
I've handed you my documents. I'm doing everything I'm legally required to do.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you think I have a deal.
I just don't. Why can't you just roll? Like, what's so hard about just click?
Well, what's wrong with, you said that so we can talk, but we're talking right now, so
there's nothing
what
wrong
other
with it,
reason
man.
is there?
I'm just curious, honestly, why you can't just roll it down all the way. I don't know. Why don't
I'm
you
just
like
curious of why you're so stuck on it.
it just blows my mind. Like, why can't you just roll it down all the way, man? Like, what's?
It blows my mind that you can't let it go. I thought we moved past this.
It's just a little funny to me, man. I'm behind the whole cop thing. I'm just kind of curious why you won't do it.
I just don't think that I am legally obliged to do that.
Yeah, I'm saying beyond that, why don't you just want to? Like, what's the big deal? You see, are you afraid or what?
I like my window. Well, I think that, a man approaches my car with a gun and...
Yeah, I'm not here to hurt you or anything like that.
I fully believe that, but I'm allowed to have my defenses up, right? Do you believe I'm going to hurt you?
No, I don't.
But you got your defenses up, right? I mean, it's just a natural
all the stuff
thing.
going on, I guess it's kind of natural.
Sure, I have nothing against you as a person.
But
I'm just...
You gotta think, man, not every cop's a bad cop, so I'm not here to hurt you like that, man.
And I'm fully on the side of the police. But I
appreciate that.
Yeah, I have my ways I gotta do things.
Yeah. I was just saying, behind the whole cop thing, I was just kind of curious why you didn't want to, like, behind the whole, I'm the cop, you're the, violator, whatever, just kind of curious why you didn't want to roll it down, so.
Yeah, I just like it where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Sure.
Anyway, man, just hang tight here, okay?
Sure.
As the conversation progressed, the officer began to suggest that minor acts of non-compliance such as not fully rolling down the car window could be indicators of criminal behavior. However, the driver wasn't easily swayed by this line of reasoning. Calmly and confidently, he invoked the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which protects citizens against unreasonable searches and seizures. He reminded the officer, with quiet conviction, that declining to comply with non-mandatory requests does not constitute probable cause or justify suspicion. Rather than escalate the situation, the driver held his ground respectfully, challenging the officer's logic by posing thoughtful, measured questions about the legality of the demands being made. His composure, coupled with a clear understanding of his rights, effectively dismantled the officer's attempt to assert unchecked authority. In that moment, the driver didn't just resist pressure, he exposed it. By refusing to surrender to vague insinuations and unfounded claims of power, he illuminated a truth that often gets lost in encounters like these: asserting your rights is not obstruction. It's the essence of being a citizen in a free society.
Put your stuff back, man. Here's what we're doing, okay?
All right.
Your record looked pretty dang good. I didn't see a speeding warning or ticket on there, okay?
Okay.
On you out for the warning, okay?
I really
know you don't think you're going that fast, but Radar said you were, but I'm not writing you a ticket.
That's what I was going to ask, is if you're on radar, because I'm not lying to you. I wasn't going that fast.
How fast? Since we're beyond that, how fast was it?
I really can't answer that question.
Well, I'm not writing you a ticket, man. It's a warning, so I'm just curious what it says.
I understand, but there's a formality that's got to take place there.
What do you mean formality?
My right to remain silent on things.
I'm not going to walk back there and rewrite a ticket, man. I can promise you that. I'm just curious.
I can promise I won't answer the question.
You have my word. I'm not going to do that. I promise you. That's on camera. That's on my camera.
And you got camera?
I do.
Do you run body cam?
No, we run a body mic. So
okay.
See, we're troopers.
Yeah.
We don't go into houses, anything like that, really. So
right.
There's really no need for everything's on camera right here, so there's no need for me to have a body camera like this. But
I think that body cams help. Police as well as citizens.
Yeah, some state agencies have it.
Yeah, I think that
ours doesn't.
I get it. Yeah,
Arkansas is behind. Getting some, but do what?
Arkansas is just behind on everything.
I mean, something like that. There's been talks about us getting some, but like I said, we do just everything right here in front of the car. So I mean, there's some pluses and negatives too. I mean, like it can help you in court. You know, if you had a body cam right here to prove something did not like. If we were to go off and get in a fight way over there or something like that, that could help us out there. But
sure,
like I said, we're troopers, so we do everything's right here at the car.
Sure,
usually, but we don't go in a house and stuff like that. So
it makes sense.
But yeah,
it makes sense.
But yeah, man, what's your name again?
My name's James.
Okay, nice to meet you, man. I'm Jackson. Nice to meet you.
You too. What was your badge number?
587.
587. Is any of that going to be on the?
Oh, let's see. It should be. Yeah, name's right there. Badge number's right there. Okay.
Perfect, man.
But yeah, besides that, man, I know that you don't think you're speeding. My radar said you were, but just be careful, okay?
Absolutely, and you too, for sure.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, not every cop's bad, man. We're here to keep people
I think the majority of police are good.
Yeah.
You know, the saying goes, "A few bad apples spoil the bunch."
Yeah.
And I think that's a bad case of what's happening.
I can understand why you'd be, a little defensive of a cop walking up to you and stuff. But,
sure.
But man, I'm not here to hurt you. I can promise you that.
I got you.
Came down.
And I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
So.
I believe that, man. That's why I'm not making a big deal out of it. But
cool.
I'm just saying, sometimes the little things like that give us clues. I mean, you're not a bad guy, so that's not the case here. But
sure,
those little things, sometimes mean a lot more than what's just a little thing. So just
absolutely,
just keep that in mind, man. Some guys might not be as nice about it as me, but
sure,
clearly I'm saying you're clearly not a bad dude. So
I try to function within the bounds of the law. You know, that's it.
Yeah, some guys, they might have sat here and made you get out of the car and stuff. But like I said, you're clearly not a bad guy, so I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it. But just
and I appreciate that.
Keep that in mind. Some guys might not take that the same as I did. So just
I got you.
I appreciate it, man. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
You have a good day.
Yeah. You too.
In the end, the officer was forced to de-escalate, choosing to issue only a warning rather than a citation. He admitted, somewhat reluctantly, that he wasn't entirely certain whether the driver had actually been speeding. Under Arkansas's Statute 27,541, an officer is required to have clear and substantiated evidence of a violation before imposing any penalty, something that was clearly lacking in this instance. The driver had successfully defended his position without yielding. He did not admit to any wrongdoing, refused to comply with unfounded demands, and firmly stood by his legal rights throughout the encounter. Though the officer attempted to justify his actions with vague reasoning, the driver's calm demeanor and sharp understanding of the law rendered those justifications hollow. Faced with a citizen who knew his rights, understood the law, and had the courage to stand firm, the illusion of unchallenged authority crumbled. In the end, the driver not only preserved his rights, he left the officer with no choice but to step back, quietly, with nothing left to say. Hello everyone, it's great to see you again in today's video. If you're a fan of street cops, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the high-quality content coming up. And don't forget to like the video if you find what I share helpful. It's the simplest way to support me in continuing to bring you even more valuable content. I just came across a pretty shocking video. A police officer was acting extremely aggressive, banging on a woman's door like he was trying to break it down. Then he started asking really strange questions, almost like he was suspicious of something, but without any clear reason. The woman remained calm, saying something like, "We're just doing what we were told to do." The whole situation made me stop and think, what's really going on here? Is something not right? Alright, in this video, we'll go through the whole thing, analyze both sides, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive right in.
Police department. Police department!
The first guy should have stayed calm with everything going on, but he was just way too tense. I can totally understand why the girl decided to cut him off. The way he kept banging on the door and ringing the bell repeatedly, acting like he had no patience, really made everything tense. I don't get why he had to do that. It was totally unnecessary.
Police department!
Hi, we'll be right there.
Yeah, I heard that before. Police department, come to the door! I'll be out here all day. Hope they ain't got nowhere to go. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm all in yourself.
Pretty good. So, obviously know why we're here, right? For the lady that's missing.
Okay.
Okay. So, what do you know about yesterday, about her car?
Whose car?
The blue car y'all dropped off at KFC? You and the guy you were with?
Last night I worked 12-hour shifts.
There's video footage of your car.
Not my tags.
Yes, this car right here at KFC. Picking a guy up at KFC, dropping the car off at the missing lady.
Nobody has been at my house, so...
What kind of guy?
Yeah.
Were you talking about my grandson?
I don't know, it's black metal dreads.
Somebody with dread, so it's definitely not my car, and it's definitely not my tag, and if it is, I want to see it.
Okay, I don't have the video.
Okay, well, if you don't have the video, and you don't have the tag, you're harassing.
It's a car that looks just like this car.
And there's a million cars that look just like it. Do I need a lawyer?
Because we were not at no KFC yesterday.
The harassment and shit like that is... I worked 12-hour doubles this weekend. I don't know shit about nobody. I don't know nobody around this. I'm not even from here. So why y'all coming to my house asking me shit that I don't know about is beyond me. I didn't get any...
Hey man, I totally get that feeling, especially when you're working a 12-hour shift and can't get any sleep. You don't want to be bothered at all. You just want to rest as much as possible. And this police officer basically banging on your door like something serious is going on. No one wants to deal with that. And clearly, he went to the wrong house when he started talking about working at KFC. They didn't even know what he was talking about. It was like he entered the wrong house and started assuming something was going on for no reason. That's the kind of situation where I wonder why some people still have jobs.
I'm cramped up, I've been working all night, and then y'all come and banging on my fucking door. I feel sick. I almost went to the hospital. I don't have time for this shit.
Ain't no point in cussing.
I have nothing to do with it. Bring me a footage that shows my tag on that shit. A car that looks like mine ain't good enough. The fuck? Act like he's a fucking boss. This is my fucking house. Obviously, you know, talking about where's the guy. You think you gonna fucking question me?
Hey man, I just want to quickly mention this because it's honestly kind of funny. The truth is, this cop was really aggressive from the start. He was banging on the door like something serious was going on. It was totally unnecessary. All he had to do was knock normally and wait for the girl to answer, not act like that. I totally get why she reacted the way she did. I mean, who wants to wake up to something like that? Especially after a long day at work. I'm sure you'd agree with me. If not, I don't know what to tell you. But seriously, I want to know what you guys think about this interaction. How do you feel about the cop's actions, banging on the door and causing a commotion? And how do you feel about the woman's reaction? I'm sure I'd feel the same way because no one wants to wake up and deal with that.
Lady.
Or I'll punch the fuck out of you.
Hey, lady, you're crazy.
Erase
lady. Lady. Fucking move, bitch. Fucking no, you can't hit me.
911.
Yeah, call them. You hit me. I got your... Why isn't there no arrest made on assault? If I assaulted somebody, I would be arrested. So why wasn't that followed through with? Why isn't it being pressed? Because crimes were committed.
I thought somebody refused to prosecute.
Who's somebody? Nobody's called me.
Who's Anna? When I asked her if she wanted out of her, is this your report? I want to make sure this case number 9. Okay.
So why would they ask her if she wants to prosecute when she's the one that assaulted me?
You know what? I'm not sure. You're going to have to talk to the deputy about that.
Hello everyone, it's great to see you again in today's video. If you're a fan of street cops, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any upcoming high quality content. And don't forget to like the video if you find what I share helpful. It's the simplest way to support me in continuing to bring you even more valuable content. Today, I'm bringing you part 2 of a story that's been getting a lot of attention, an intense update on the situation involving the so-called entitled woman, also known as a Karen, and the incident with the man at the grocery store. If you're not too familiar with the situation, here's what happened, girl.
Erase that.
Lady, are you crazy? Whoa,
Erase
lady.
it or I'll punch the fuck out of you.
Hey, lady, you're crazy.
Erase
lady. Lady. Fucking move, bitch. Fucking no, you can't hit me. 911. Yeah, call them. You hit me. I got you.
And basically, everything ended for her the moment she decided to call 911 and make a completely false report. That action wasn't just wrong, it could have had serious consequences, both legally and emotionally, for everyone involved. Before people start looking into or judging this situation, especially as it's at risk of being distorted, misrepresented, or twisted by unreliable sources.
So my name is Frank. I'm a unit manager here. I'm going to take you out of the sun. What I'm going to do is one of the supervisors upstairs called me and said you thought you should have been entitled to this report because I guess maybe somebody told you on the phone that it's available or something like that. So I read it. I don't see anything in here that prevents you from getting it. The person looks like they refuse to prosecute and all that. So I'm going to give you the report, okay? I'm going to talk to Lydia because there's nothing in here.
Yeah, but again, if I come in here looking for a report, it should be given. She denied that. She gave me a redacted telling me I couldn't get it, and that's why I called your supervisor, and they told me what you guys did was wrong. And what you're doing is taking me out here to give me an explanation that your supervisor already gave me, and it is completely different. You can give me that, and I can go on with my day.
Yeah, what I want to let you know is that I'm going to talk to her, and that she was incorrect. If they would have said that,
so that's what I came in for. Let's think the rest to me is blah 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 because this is what I came in looking for.
But you may come in next time, and there may be an active investigation.
Yeah, but I came from Broward, and this is what she gives me, so that would have wasted my time completely. Yeah. If I didn't make the phone call saying, hey, go right back in. You do have a report. Like, come on, dude. That is what she did. First off, was completely ridiculous.
What I'm saying is, if it was an open, active investigation, then that would be the right thing to do.
Right, but it's not though.
No, correct.
Right.
I agree with you.
That's why I came down here.
I want you to know that I'm going to talk to her.
Now, let me ask you now about this. Why isn't there no arrest made on assault? If I assaulted somebody, I would be arrested. So why wasn't that followed through with? Why isn't it being pressed? Because crimes were committed.
I thought somebody refused to prosecute.
Who's somebody? Nobody's called me.
Who's Anna? When I asked what she wanted out of her, is this your report?
Basically, what happened is that she falsely reported, claiming that he hit her first. But as you can clearly see in the video, everything has been recorded in detail, and it's undeniable who is the one changing the truth. You can clearly see who changed this.
I'll punch the fuck out of you.
Hey, lady, you're crazy.
Erase
lady. That. Lady, fucking move. I want to make sure this case number 9. Okay.
So why would they ask her if she wants to prosecute when she's the one that assaulted me?
You know what? I'm not sure. You're going to have to talk to the deputy about that. I'm the records manager.
Got it.
So I speak to the records part
of it. Now, where's the deputy's report from that same day? They're supposed to make a report that same day.
Do you remember his name? So there's an original report on here by, and I'm assuming that's Eric.
So he probably came out twice because somebody came out
on
twice.
June 20th. Came to Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, District 9. Who authored that? So it was authored by Deputy Joe. No, that's page 3. That's the first supplement.
So she called the cops and she gave them a false report, and that's what you're reading now.
Well, that was the supplement. That wasn't the original one. Was done by Russell, and that's his ID number right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
He said he came on June 18th, and they transcribed it on the 20th. Yeah. So.
Can I have those, please?
Yeah, you can have it. But my main point is, I'm going to talk to her, educate her, and provide her some training.
Well, when you heard her and you came out to defend her, you should have just took over.
Well, I give them an opportunity to figure it all out. So I said, are you guys good? Because I knew that you were there for a long time.
I appreciate this. Now, you don't know how to answer the other questions, right? The one that about why no arrest, why blah blah blah.
It looked like somebody refused to prosecute, so maybe he asked the wrong person. But the prosecution, that's going to be between the sworn person and the victim,
state attorney.
and there has to be enough evidence to prosecute.
No, there is. The video's on YouTube.
Deputy Russell, and he should be able to let you know.
She's
like,
punching straight at me, and she's trying to still steal my phone on video. So this is the reason why no prosecution. If I would have done this and caught on video with 20 million views, I'd be.
It was an accident, and then it escalated into.
I was recording a lady arguing with another old lady, and she came to me and she attacked me for it.
Oh,
yeah.
you were just.
I was just
there.
filming. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
hey man, thanks.
Basically, the end of that video clearly shows that they don't care. It's like they really don't care about this guy getting beaten. Because if he was actually the one who hit that woman, and if he did it before, he would be going to jail right now. But the simple truth is that she falsely reported the incident. So in reality, she committed to crimes, and unfortunately, no one seems to care about that. It's a sad reality because there are many cases like this, not just this one. That's my perspective on this issue. What do you all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about how the police in Palm Beach, Florida are handling this situation? They clearly don't care, even though they know she falsely reported it. They just said they'll educate their officers. I honestly don't get it. The situation there is a mess. But that's my point of view, and I'd love to hear what you all think.